Host, show off your wealth in the freshman group. I sent a 100,000 yuan red envelope. Host, spend 10 million in 3 days. I bought a bunch of limited edition items. Host, reject the school beauty. I did that. So what happened? Lamborghini in hand, company in hand, black tech in hand. Money left unspent, then another billion came in. I stared at my account balance, lost in thought. Is this system turning me into a money mogul or punishing me? I don't even dare to eat instant noodles now, afraid that a single bite might earn me another 100 million. On the first day, I transmigrated. The system forced me to flaunt my wealth. Outside the high-speed train window, the scenery raced backward. I propped my chin on my hand, dazed, my mind still in chaos. 3 days ago, I was still an ordinary office worker. When I woke up, I became a freshman about to enter university. Parallel world, same name and surname. Even the school had changed. Before I could even process this fact, a mechanical voice suddenly exploded in my mind. Greetings, host. Congratulations on activating the money mogul system. Detecting that the host's current assets are less than 1,000 yuan, the system will gift a 10 million yuan newcomer grand package. I nearly jumped out of my seat. 10 million? I suppressed my racing heart and looked around. Confirming no one noticed my strange behavior, I forced myself to sit back down calmly. The next second, my phone vibrated. 10 million yuan had been deposited into my bank account. I stared at that number, my fingers trembling. In 2 lifetimes combined, I'd never seen so much money. Now it had so easily fallen into my account, and before I could even catch my breath, the system chimed in again. Detected that the host has joined the freshman group. Issuing a temporary mission. Showcase your strength in the freshman group. Mission reward. Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Mission failure penalty. Constipation. Constipation? What kind of absurd penalty is that? I took a deep breath and opened the freshman group. It was already buzzing with activity. A guy named Fu Mingming was desperately seeking attention, posting a photo with the caption, "High school heartthrob." Someone clapped back, and he got defensive. Another one, Kai Shuji, was flaunting his newly acquired Land Rover. Fu Mingming, not backing down, claimed his family had a Bentley. The two were locked in a heated argument. I watched these clowns, originally not wanting to get involved, but the system mission was pressing on me. What could I do? It's registration day today. Can I drive a Lamborghini to school? The message sent. The group went silent for 2 seconds, then exploded. Dude, are you serious? If you actually drive a Lamborghini, I'll fly a helicopter. Would you believe him or believe that I'm Qin Shi Huang? I didn't bother to argue, just sent a red envelope. 100,000 yuan. The group went dead silent. Then it exploded. Holy crap, a real big shot. A 100,000 yuan red envelope. I counted the zeros several times. Those guys who showed off their Range Rovers and Bentleys just now? Take a walk. We believe you definitely have a Lamborghini. I looked down at the scrolling messages on my phone, unable to suppress the grin. Congratulations, host. Mission complete. Your car key has been generated in your pocket. The vehicle is parked in the underground parking lot of the high-speed rail station. I reached into my jacket pocket. The cold metal touch, a Lamborghini key. Before I could get excited, a voice came from beside me. Excuse me, could you help me put my suitcase up? I turned around. A girl stood in the aisle, long black hair, down her waist, delicate features that didn't look real, almost no makeup. But she was 100 times more beautiful than any filtered face. A beige short-sleeve shirt and light blue jeans. Those straight legs, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say they could snap my neck. I was briefly lost in thought, then nodded, stood up, and helped her carry the suitcase. It was indeed heavy, but my height of over 6 feet wasn't just for show. After putting the suitcase away, I sat back down and continued looking out the window. She was beautiful, but that had nothing to do with someone like me. I knew my place. But the girl spoke up first. You're also going to Yang University to register, right? I nodded. Then let's add each other on social media. Her name was Jing Mo, and the one beside her was Fan Qingxue. We became friends and were even added to a freshman group of 1,000 people. It was the same group where I had just shown off my wealth. The moment I was added, the system activated. I looked at the car keys in my pocket and couldn't help but check my balance again. 10 million, Lamborghini. Finally, it was my turn. Before the high-speed train arrived, that Fu Mingming came over to butter me up. Seeing Fan Qingxue, his eyes lit up. He pulled out his Audi key and jingled it. Miss, I have a car at the station, an Audi. I can give you a ride. Fan Qingxue coldly refused. Then she turned to me. Did you drive? Can you give me a ride? I hesitated for a moment. My car is a bit small, can't fit much honestly. A Lamborghini has only 2 seats, and her suitcase is way too big to fit anywhere. Fu Mingming laughed out loud, saying, Sis, he probably doesn't even have a car and is scared of being called out. Fan Qingxue ignored him, staring at me, saying, Even if you rode an e-bike, I'd still get on. I sighed and said, Fine. At the station, Fu Mingming volunteered to grab Fan Qingxue's suitcase, but it was too heavy and he dropped it, the box smacking him right in the face. I couldn't bear to watch. You're way too respectful, catching the suitcase with your face. After teasing him, I quickly walked off. A Lamborghini, a man's ultimate dream. It wasn't about keeping up appearances. I was so eager I almost got down on all fours and ran. Fan Qingxue dragged her suitcase, chasing after me, while Fu Mingming kept calling out, Pretty lady, pretty lady. In the underground parking lot, Fu Mingming clicked his Audi A4L unlocked, full of confidence. Pretty lady, come with me. I walked deeper into the lot. There was a black Lamborghini Aventador SVJ parked there. I pressed the key, and the lights flashed on. The look on Fu Mingming's face. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Fan Qingxue was frozen in place too. I opened the front trunk and found it couldn't fit the suitcase, so she had to hold it on her lap in the passenger seat. I told you the car was small and a bit cramped. The tone sounded like a complaint, but Fu Mingming's expression told me. He wanted to die. I started the V12 engine. Vroom. The entire parking lot shook. Driving out of the high-speed rail station and merging into traffic, I held the steering wheel, my hands trembling. Not from fear, but from excitement. This car was so damn cool. Just then, the roar of engines approached from behind. In the rearview mirror, more than a dozen supercars were rushing at crazy speed, led by a red Ferrari. Speed at least 200 km/h. The driver was a woman, her long hair flowing out the window, steering with one hand. Her attitude was extremely arrogant. The Ferrari pulled up alongside me. She rolled down the window, smiled at me, and provocatively revved the engine a few times. I didn't want to respond, but the system beeped again, detecting that someone had provoked the host. Issuing a temporary mission. Race the Ferrari. Must win. Mission reward. A novel company. Mission failure penalty. Constipation. I want to curse. I just got my driver's license a few days ago. How can you expect me to compete with a professional race car driver? The system detected that my driving skills are insufficient. It temporarily granted a professional race car driver experience card, valid for 10 minutes. The next second, a strange feeling surged up inside me. It was as if I had merged with this car. Every roar of the engine, every friction between the tires and the ground, felt like part of my own body. The steering wheel in my hand was no longer a wheel, it was my fingers. The accelerator wasn't something I pressed, it was my own nerve endings. This feeling, it was fucking amazing. And at that very moment, across the ocean, an F1 race was underway. The 6-time champion, a legendary driver, was sprinting. At over 300 kilometers per hour, suddenly, he felt his control over the race car vanish. Oh my God, oh my God. The race car went out of control and crashed into the barrier. The racing suit saved his life, but a string of flames rose before him. WTF. The legendary driver, deceased. I had no idea someone on the other side of the world had died in my place. I rolled down the window and shot a provocative look at the Ferrari woman driver, then revved the engine a few times. The live chat went wild. Who asked this guy, daring to challenge Xiaoya? A newborn calf, ISNT afraid of tigers, show him what you've got, Xiaoya. Red light. We were lined up side by side at the intersection. I glanced over at Fan Qingxue in the passenger seat. She was pale, but silent. Countdown. 3, 2, 1, green light. Both cars shot forward like arrows from a bow. Launch control start. Xiaoya's expression shifted. She floored it to 150, leaving me in the dust. Eat my dust. Her lips curved upward, but the smile soon froze. In a rearview mirror, the black Lamborghini was closing in fast, hitting 200 on the crowded city main road. Either a reckless madman with no fear of death, or a top-tier expert. I was clearly the latter, at least for these 10 minutes. Overtaking, side by side, taking the lead. Xiaoya gritted her teeth and pushed the speed to 240. 240 kilometers per hour. At this speed, the city road was no longer a road, it was a casino with lives as the stakes. One wrong move, and it's death and destruction, with no chance of rescue. But at this moment, I feel no fear. I am one with the car. Every gap is my lane. Every car's position is within my perception. The black Lamborghini, like a ghost, weaves through the traffic. The moment I overtook the Ferrari, I saw Xiaoya's face shock, disbelief, and that subtle sense of collapse when a professional racer is overtaken by a brash young kid. The barrage exploded. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, he overtook Xiaoya. Who the hell is this? The girl in the passenger seat is scared to tears. LOL. I don't look at the barrage. I don't look at the rearview mirror. I only look at the road ahead. The trial card as countdown is almost up 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm at the last curve. I used a line that left Xiaoya dumbfounded, a perfect exit from the curve, pulling ahead. At the finish line, I won. Mission complete, reward issued. I slow down and pull over to the side of the road. My hands are still shaking, but this time not from excitement. It's the aftermath of adrenaline, the wave of fear that crashes over me. What did I just do? On the City South Main Road, racing a professional driver at 240? There was a girl in the passenger seat. I turned to look at Fan Qingxue. Her face was pale and her lips were blue. She was gripping the seatbelt tightly, but her eyes were frighteningly bright. Are you crazy? Her voice was trembling. Do you know how dangerous that was just now? I know. She stared at me for 3 seconds, then said something unexpected. Next time, take me with you. The Ferrari and Jing Mo's Lamborghini were parked side by side. Xiaoya glanced through the car window at Jing Mo's direction and gave a haughty smile. Then, as if challenging, revved the engine a few times. Jing Mo initially intended to ignore it. Just a bunch of street racers. Just then, the system's voice suddenly rang. Out. Detected someone provoking the host, issuing a temporary mission. Race against the Ferrari beside, you must win. Mission complete. Reward a novel company. Mission failed. Punishment constipation. After hearing this, Jing Mo couldn't help but curse under his breath. Damn it. Fan Qingxue beside him was confused and looked at Jing Mo with a puzzled expression. Jing Mo waved his hand. It's nothing, nothing. On the surface, he seemed fine, but inwardly he had already started cursing. Can't you change the punishment? Why is it always constipation? System, no. Ying Montak. Damn it. I only got my driver's license a few days ago. How am I supposed to race against her? She was already going over 200 just now, wasn't she? System detected that the host's driving skill is currently at a rookie. During the bird phase, a temporary professional racing car. Hand temporary experience card is given. Jing Mo accepted this experience card. System, do you want to use the experience card? Using it will grant you the skills of the world's top racing car drivers. But this state can only last for 10 minutes. Jing Mo, damn, only 10 minutes? You're such a stingy system. System, do you want or not? If not, I'll take it back. Hesitating and dawdling. Jing Mo, hearing this very human-like system voice, realized the system had intelligence. Yes, yes, yes. Use it quickly. System, already used. Countdown, 9 minutes, 58 seconds. As soon as the words fell, Jing Mo suddenly felt a surge of strange power rising within him. He was astonished to find that he seemed to merge with the car he was driving. His control over the vehicle became exceptionally skilled and effortless. Every move, every gear shift became as natural and smooth as instinct. This wonderful sensation filled him with excitement, and it seemed as if every component of the car had become a part of his own body, following the command of his heart. In the distant United States, an F1 race was underway. The leading F1 car had already reached nearly 300 kilometers per hour. He was a legendary driver. His driving skills were already the best in the world. A legendary figure in the world of racing. He had won every championship in recent years, earning the title of 6-time champion. Just then, he suddenly felt the car beneath him and his senses were no longer in sync. His control over the car was fading, filling him with terror. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He cried out in panic. An F1 car going over 300 kilometers per hour, without a professional driver's control, would crash straight into the track's guardrails. The professional driver wore a racing suit. This racing suit cost $1 million, designed to protect the driver's safety. After the crash, though the car flipped over, but his life was saved. He, barely breathing, curled the corners of his mouth. He had miraculously survived, But the next moment, a string of flames slowly rose in front of him. Wang Defa, legendary champion racer, died. Jing Mo rolled down the car window and returned a provocative glance. Then, just like Xiaoya had done moments ago, he pressed down a few times on the Lamborghini's accelerator. The audience in the live stream room couldn't stay calm. Who the hell is this guy? Daring to provoke Xiaoya? He looked young, truly a fearless calf that doesn't fear tigers. Xiaoya, show him what's what. Let him know who's boss. Just a rich second generation, bought a car just to show off. But the girl in his passenger seat is really pretty. Could even compare to Xiaoya. This Lamborghini is wasted in his hands. He bought it just to pick up girls. A bunch of resentful people in the live stream were shouting, telling Xiaoya to teach Jing Mo a lesson. Xiaoya smiled confidently. Then she glanced at the countdown red light, signaling to Jing Mo to start the race at this intersection. Jing Mo smirked and revved the engine in response. Xiaoya was unimpressed. She had raced on tracks before. How could this rich kid compare to her? She'd just drive casually. The red light countdown ended. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. The moment the light turned green, two streaks of red and black shot forward like arrows. Xiaoya was shocked. That was a launch control start. Was this guy a pro? Xiaoya, who had been nonchalant, now grew serious. She floored it, accelerating to 150 kilometers h instantly, leaving Jing Mo's car behind. Eat my dust, Xiaoya smirked. This was Wenchang Road, a major city artery. With heavy traffic, driving at 150 on this road required the nerve of a professional racer. Even a pro would need full concentration. One mistake, and it could be disastrous. At that moment, sharp-eyed viewers noticed the neighboring lawn. The Lamborghini was hot on her heels. She began to suspect if Xiaoya had tampered with the dashboard data, deliberately creating the illusion of high speed. Such comments immediately caused an uproar. Xiaoya could hardly believe her eyes when that Lamborghini suddenly appeared beside her. She even wondered if she was seeing things. After all, she was a professional racing driver. How could this guy possibly catch up to her? Xiaoya wondered to herself. Just who was this young man driving the Lamborghini? And what kind of expert was he? She was eager to see who exactly was sitting in the driver's seat of that car, driving at a speed of 200 in such heavy traffic. You're either a madman who's not afraid to die, or a master who has absolute confidence in their driving skills. An absolutely confident expert. Am I seeing things? That young man actually overtook Xiaoya? How is that even possible? I originally thought Xiaoya. He was already invincible in the world. Unexpectedly, there was someone even more daring than her. Whose subordinate was this? Xiaoya, speed up. You must not let him surpass you. At this moment, Jing Mo was completely unaware that he himself, due to his astonishing speed, had become the hot topic in Xiaoya's livestream room. He was solely focused on testing this car, to see where its limits truly lay. So he kept stepping on the accelerator, continuing to speed up. Jing Mo drove his Lamborghini like a gust of wind, swiftly overtaking the Ferrari from behind, and quickly drew level with it. Seeing this, Xiaoya steeled herself inwardly, gritted her teeth, and floored the accelerator. She refused to believe that with her professional racing skills, she would lose to him. In an instant, the Ferrari's engine roared like an enraged beast, and the speed instantly soared to 240 km/h. However, while driving at such high speeds, they had to stay alert and watch out for vehicles ahead. Even the slightest mistake could lead to a serious rear-end collision. At such a speed, once a crash occurs, the consequences would be unimaginable, with almost zero chance of survival. Keep in mind, 240 km/h. For an ordinary family car, that's already its top speed. Many people might own a car from the moment they buy it, until it's scrapped, without ever experiencing such a terrifying velocity. Jing Ma slammed the gas pedal all the way to the floor without hesitation. His car shot forward like an arrow, zooming ahead at breakneck speed. The needle on the dashboard had long passed the 240 mark. Just as the two cars were about to enter a curve, Xiaoya's focus wavered for an instant, and Jing Ma's Lamborghini took the chance to overtake her vehicle. At that moment, Xiaoya's eyes were filled with shock and utter disbelief. Xiaoya stomped on the accelerator without a second thought. The engine roared with a deafening thunder. The car continued to accelerate like a runaway horse. But just then, a sharp turn loomed ahead. At such an astonishing speed, if they attempted a drift turn directly, the immense inertia would surely cause the vehicle to roll sideways. Xiaoya made an immediate decision to decelerate. After all, any top driver facing such a situation must first reduce their speed, then navigate the curve with perfect drifting technique. Only after successfully clearing the bend could they accelerate again. Yet, despite Xiaoya having slowed down significantly, she could only watch the fading red taillights ahead. Her opponent's brake lights never lit up. The distance between the two cars was instead growing wider. He's absolutely insane. Just as Jingma's car dashed through the curve first, as everyone expected, the Lamborghini he drove, while taking the turn at high speed, suddenly lifted its left side off the ground. The powerful inertia made the entire vehicle seem like losing control. It tilted outward to the side, just as the entire vehicle seemed about to overturn. A miracle occurred. The wheels on the other side happened to catch perfectly into the guardrail by the roadside. This sudden twist of fate seemed to carve out a magical track for the car to follow. The once teetering body instantly stabilized, never leaving the road. At that moment, the car felt like riding a roller coaster, speeding along this accidental track. The live stream room, once bustling with flying comments, suddenly fell into dead silence. Even the experienced Xiaoya was left wide-eyed and utterly stunned. How can you do that? After a long moment, Xiaoya snapped out of it, but she wasn't about to give up. She quickly adjusted the car's angle. With a graceful drift and a sharp flick of the tail, it shot forward like an arrow from a bow, racing ahead. She couldn't wait to catch up with the car ahead, to see what kind of expert it was, who could perform such extraordinary driving skills. Even those world-renowned professional racers would probably find it difficult to execute such a difficult maneuver. When Xiaoya successfully passed the curve, she was astonished to find that the black Lamborghini had already disappeared without a trace, not even a glimpse of its taillights. At the same time, Xiaoya's live stream exploded once again, with countless comments flooding in. The screen was instantly flooded with 666, Akina Mountain Car God, in other words. On the other side, the instigator, Jing Mo, was completely unaware of all this. He never expected that. Just a casual joyride would cause such a huge commotion. Fan Qingxue complained, still shaken. You scare me to death. I almost crashed just now. Don't you realize how dangerous that was? In all her years, this was the first time she felt riding in a car was so perilous. Just moments ago, when the speed shot past 200 kilometers per hour, the intense G-force left her pale with fear. She swore she would never willingly ride in Jing Mo's car again. It was absolutely terrifying. After 10 minutes passed, Jing Mo's familiar feel for the car faded, and he quickly slowed down to avoid any accidents. System, congratulations, host. Task completed. Reward is being issued. System, task reward has been issued. You have received 100% of the shares of Orange Chinese Group. System, new temporary task issued. Spend 10 million within 3 days. Note, the host is prohibited from using methods such as investment or gambling to cheat. Any such behavior will result in the task being judged as failed. System, task completion reward, 50 million renminbi. System, failure penalty, constipation. Jing Mo was left speechless. Of all the punishments this system could give, it's just constipation. But spending 10 million in 3 days, it seems. Need to plan it out carefully. After all, with my limited experience, I don't even know how to spend 10 million. Soon the car had reached the road near the school. It was the peak time for enrollment. The entrance was packed with students coming to register. Plus, some were brought by their parents, making the crowd even larger. At the gate of Yangda University, many upperclassmen and upperclasswomen gathered at the entrance. They said they were helping freshmen enroll, but in reality, they were scouting for their preferred targets. Both males and females, every single one, was dressed to the nines. Especially the girls, their skirts were so short they barely covered their thighs. Many freshmen' parents drove luxury cars to send them off. Of course, some students drove themselves, but most were hand-me-down cars from their parents that were no longer used. There were also a very few wealthy young men driving luxury cars to school. Although Yangda University wasn't considered a top-tier school, but its reputation is still quite good. mainly because there are many pretty girls since ancient times. Jiangnan has been known for its beauties. A third-year student from the freshman reception was introducing the school's buildings to the newly arrived freshmen. Some of the school's buildings. Zhao Huanhuan had her hair in pigtails. Her delicate face was lightly made up, looking innocent and cute. With her poised and graceful demeanor, a gentle smile should have been enough to make the new students' imaginations run wild. Huanhuan, there are quite a few handsome new students this year. Zhao Huanhuan brushed a strand of hair from her forehead and smiled. I see there are also quite a few wealthy ones. Look over there. Zhao Huanhuan gestured with her eyes. The girl beside her followed Zhao Huanhuan's gaze. In the distance, a Mercedes-Benz had just parked by the roadside. Isn't that just a Mercedes? Today the entrance is full of Mercedes. Zhao Huanhuan felt a bit disdainful this girl had no taste. That's not an ordinary Mercedes. That's a Mercedes Maybach, even the lowest. Specification costs over 1.2 million yuan. The girl beside him was stunned a car worth over a million. A guy stepped out of the driver's seat of the Maybach, wearing sunglasses in the middle of summer, dressed in a dark blue suit and leather shoes. But his outfit was indeed handsome, making him look much more mature than the other boys around. Wait, he's still a student driving that? He must be what they call a rich young master. Many girls were completely drawn to him, thinking they would make a move on him if they got the chance. Zhao Huanhuan glanced at the alumni driving the Maybach, nodded to herself he was her target. She planned to find an opportunity to get acquainted with him later. Niu Yongyu pushed open the car door and stepped out with a dashing move. He stood tall and straight like a pine, his chin held high, as if the whole world lay at his feet. His expression practically screamed arrogance. From the passenger seat of the Maybach gracefully stepped a stunning beauty. She had a graceful, curvaceous figure. Her elegant curves were like a meticulously crafted work of art. The form-fitting professional attire she wore highlighted her temperament to perfection, exuding a charm that combined competence and elegance. She lightly picked up a black umbrella and walked gracefully over to Niu Yongyu, then gently opened the umbrella and carefully held it above her head, shielding him from a scorching sun. This is way too cool, so damn awesome. This style instantly made everyone jealous. Just as he was about to step forward and embrace the campus, he heard a bang behind him, and a scooter directly crashed into the Maybach's rear end. The metal parts on the front of the scooter were smashed into the Maybach's body. Niu Yongyu turned around, and his face almost turned green. This was his father's beloved car. He secretly drove it out today to show off on the first day of school. If it got wrecked, he'd be skin alive when he got home. Who the fuck did this? Niu Yongyu roared angrily. He quickly walked to the back of the car, only to see a girl sitting on the ground, covering her knees and groaning in pain. This scene played out in front of many people. Many stopped what they were doing to watch the commotion. Yiruo's heart was pounding with anxiety. Oh no, she had hit someone's car, and it was a Mercedes. Even if she sold herself, she couldn't afford to pay for it. But she had only damaged one panel, so it probably wouldn't cost too much to fix. I'm so sorry, really, I'm so sorry. The brakes on my bike aren't working well. I'll pay for the repair costs. Yiruo knew she had made a mistake. She hoped that being sincere would calm the other person's anger. Fuck your apology. Do you even know what kind of car this is? Were you even looking where you were going on that bike? Of all the cars on this street, you had to hit this one. You just had to hit the most expensive one. My car is a Maybach. The base model costs 1.2 million. Mine is the top model, 1.8 million. This one panel alone costs at least 100,000. How are you going to pay for this? Niu Yongyu was furious. Looking at this poor bastard, he clearly didn't have money. How could he possibly pay? Then how would he explain this to his father? When Yiruo heard Niu Yongyu say this, she was instantly stunned. Over a million? Was it true? Could a car really be that expensive? But looking at this car, compared to others, it indeed looked much more luxurious. If it really was over a million, she couldn't afford to pay. Thinking of this, she felt both terrified and helpless. In the middle of summer, her body felt like it had plunged into an ice cellar. Her hands and feet were icy cold. Her family wasn't well off. She even had to earn her school living expenses by working summer jobs. Her family favored boys over girls. She gave all the money she earned to her brother to buy a house. If it weren't for her part-time job, she wouldn't have been able to attend college. If she told her parents, they probably wouldn't help her. they would very likely cut ties with her. 100,000 yuan? I don't have that much money. Can I owe it for now and pay you back later? Upon hearing this, Neo Yongyu knew that this girl couldn't come up with the money today. When I get back, I'm definitely going to get beaten. But I can't let this beating be for nothing. Looking closely, this girl was actually quite pretty. If he could use this opportunity to make her his girlfriend and sleep with her, that would be nice. Oof, you say you'll pay it back? How can I trust that? Some onlookers couldn't stand to see Neo Yongyu bullying a young girl. A parent spoke up. Young man, that's enough. It's just a little damage. Stop bullying this young girl. When Neo Yongyu heard this, he was furious. Originally, he was already full of anger with nowhere to vent. Do you even know what you're talking about? She crashed into my car, so she should pay for it. If not, then you pay for her. It's easy for you to talk when you're not the one suffering. The parent who had just spoken heard Neo Yongyu say this and fell silent. However, many people began to feel disgusted with this Neo Yongyu. How about this? You said you want to pay me for the car repairs, but you can't come up with that much money right now. Write an IOU. After you sign and seal it, I'll stop making things difficult for you. Neo Yongyu didn't expect this girl to actually pay him back at all. He could use this IOU to threaten her into becoming his girlfriend. That was his real goal. If you're unwilling, then pay back the money. If she really did pay, he wouldn't be a loss either. Neo Yongyu's plan was clicking away loud and clear. With such thoughts in mind, Neo Yongyu set his gaze on the girl in front of him and began to look her over from head to toe. He saw that the woman was dressed simply and plainly, even a bit rustic, yet she exuded a unique aura all over, like the gentle and tender charm of a woman from the Jiangnan water town, since she kept her head lower the whole time. Apologizing to him profusely, Neo Yongyu couldn't get a full view of her. Just now, when the girl slightly raised her head for a moment, Neo Yongyu finally caught a glimpse of her face. He couldn't help but secretly sigh at how pretty her face was. A standard oval face, paired with curved, willow leaf-like eyebrows, truly had a unique charm. Then how much do I need to compensate you? Neo Yongyu started talking nonsense. Things like the car's body panels needing to be imported from abroad, and the labor costs for repairs. Anyway, he just kept bluffing, taking advantage of Yuruo's naivety. In the end, Neo Yongyu reached a conclusion. Roughly 180,000 yuan. Write an IOU. When Yuruo heard this number, she nearly fainted. 180,000? She'd never seen so much money in her entire life. Seeing Yuruo hesitating, Neo Yongyu threatened, if you still disagree, then I'll have no choice but to call the police and let them handle it. This threat worked, and Yuruo became terrified. Don't call the police. I'll write you an IOU. The onlookers couldn't stand it any longer. Miss, don't write it. Please don't. If you write it, you'll never escape. Little sister, IOUs are legally binding. You'll have to pay it back. Seeing that his goal was about to be achieved, Neo Yongyu couldn't let these uninvited guests disrupt his plan. Everyone shut up. Stop trying to play the good guys, okay? It's not your car that got hit. Same as before. If you're so capable, you pay for her. Yuruo wasn't stupid either. She understood that if she wrote the IOU, she really wouldn't be able to escape. They could use the IOU to find her. If they ask my family for money, then I'm done for. But if I don't write an IOU, the other party clearly won't let me off. What to do? Yuruo's eyes were brimming with tears, and tears couldn't help but stream down her face. Vroom vroom vroom, a pitch-black supercar, sped over from the distant horizon. Its dazzling appearance, and the roar of its engine, even for those who don't know cars, it was clear this car must be extremely expensive. The crowd that had been watching just moments ago all had their attention drawn to this luxury car. How many guys, upon seeing the car, had envy written all over their faces? Lamborghini Aventador. This is the most expensive luxury car in the world. Neo Yongyu was naturally drawn to this car as well, because this was his dream car. Who would want to look at a mature car like a Maybach, drive it on the road, and many people wouldn't even recognize it? The rides of truly wealthy young masters. All were Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and McLarens. But to him, these were truly out of reach. The Lamborghini thus slowly decelerated in front of the crowd and then crawled along the street. Wow, a Lamborghini, and it's the Aventador. What am I seeing? A walking set of 3 houses. It looks like the latest model, right? The base model alone costs over 9 million. And this doesn't seem to be the ordinary version. So even if it's not 10 million, it's close enough. Damn, if I had one of these, I wouldn't even dare drive it. Look at them, driving it out so casually. Jing and Mo looked at the road both sides were lined with parked cars, and there wasn't even a single empty spot. However, he spotted a Maybach, and there was a parking spot right behind it. Near luxury cars, apart from other luxury cars. No one else dared to approach, because if they scratched or dented it, they couldn't afford to pay for it. And so, Jing and Mo slowly moved his car at the rear of the Maybach. But why are there two people standing here? They're blocking the parking spot. Jing and Mo rolled down the window, stuck his head out, and shouted to the two, "Hey, could you please move aside? I want to park my car over there." That one sentence made Nyo Yongyu dare not disobey. He could only sidestep onto the curb. Yiruo, seeing the Lamborghini, remembered her earlier misfortune, thinking she had already hit one Maybach and couldn't afford to hit an even more expensive car. She had already led her little electric scooter and retreated to one side. Seeing the two move aside sensibly, Jing and Mo parked the Lamborghini by the roadside. The scissor doors of the driver's and passengers' seats slowly lifted. Jing and Mo and Fan Qingxue got out of the car. However, Fan Qingxue looked a bit awkward getting out, as she was holding her suitcase. When everyone saw this scene, they all casting looks of pure envy. Now, this is a real rich young master showing off. Look at the beauty beside him. She must be at least school beauty queen level. Her aloof aura makes her stand out from the other girls around. It's as if they are of a different species. Jingma noticed the two people who had just been standing in the parking spot. He sensed that the atmosphere between them seemed a bit off, but he wasn't one to meddle in others' affairs. He pretended not to see and walked towards the school entrance. Just as he and Fan Qingxue brushed past these two people, the system's voice rang in his mind, issuing a temporary mission, daily good deed. Help the young girl overcome the current crisis. Reward upon completion, permanent God-level driving skill. No penalty for failure. Jingma suddenly stopped in his tracks. This God-level driving skill, he had used it before, and it was indeed awesome driving, just now was really satisfying. As for why it's permanent, the system didn't explain why. He was determined to get this driving skill no matter what. So Jing and Mo took 2 steps back. Come on, tell me what happened. Nyo Yongyu was still waiting for this rich young master to leave, so he could continue forcing Yiruo to write an IOU. But to his surprise, Jing and Mo, who had just left, came back. A few bystanders had long been fed up with Nyo Yongyu bullying the weak with his money. Seeing an even more powerful, rich young master step in to intervene, they stepped forward one after another, denouncing Nyo Yongyu's misdeeds. After hearing this, Jing and Mo had a clear picture. Doing a good deed today was nothing more than helping the girl pay the compensation. It just so happened that he had a task to spend 10 million in 3 days, and this counted as spending, didn't he it? System, if I pay the compensation for her, does that meet the task requirements? System, no. This behavior is equivalent to a gift, not spending on yourself. Ying Montag seit invertly. Damn, why are there so many demands? Since he couldn't just pay compensation, how else could he help? He wanted to both solve the girl's immediate problem and complete the previous task. Just as Jing and Mo was racking his brains, Yiruo timidly spoke up. Don't call the police, can't I just write an IOU? Nyo Yongyu, still fuming, gave a cold snort and pulled out paper and pen from the car. Write one then. With that, he shot a vicious glare at Jing and Mo. The guy had stolen his thunder, how infuriating. Just as Yiruo's trembling hands reached out to take the paper and pen and start writing the IOU, Ying and Mo grabbed Yiruo's hand. Don't write yet. Yiruo looked at the man beside her in confusion, and then saw him glance around, as if he was looking for something. Nyo Yongyu saw his plan was about to succeed, but then someone stepped in out of nowhere. What are you doing? Huh? You want to stick your nose into this too? Nyo Yongyu's voice sounded obviously a bit weak, because someone who could afford to drive such a car must have connections. Jing and Mo completely ignored Nyo Yongyu. Suddenly, caught sight of something and his eyes lit up. He quickly stepped forward toward a worker who was repairing a water pipe by the roadside and ran over. Then, under the watch of the crowd, he said something unknown to the worker, then took a stack of cash from his hand and handed it over. The pipe repair worker was very happy and handed the large iron hammer in his hand to Jing and Mo. Jing and Mo picked up the hammer and jogged back. Neo Youngyu, seeing this, was scared and stepped back. A few steps, shouting warily, "What are you trying to do? Just because you have money, you bully ordinary people? Do you believe I'll call the police and have you arrested?" Neo Youngyu was afraid that this person might attack with a hammer, but it seemed that the other's target was not him. He joyfully ran toward his own car. That expression looked very happy. Is this guy crazy or something? Just as Neo Youngyu was wondering what this guy was trying to do, he saw Jing Mo walk to the side of the car and swing a hammer at the windshield. 80, 80, 80. And just like that, before anyone could react, Jing Mo grabbed his heavy hammer and jumped onto the car, frantically smashing it. Neo Youngyu's heart bled at the sight. This was the car his father cared about most. It took him so many years to afford it. Even driving it, he was always extra careful. But now it was battle damaged. The front windshield was cracked like a spiderweb, and the hood was covered with dents everywhere. Stop! Stop! Neo Youngyu panicked and rushed forward, trying to block Jing Mo. He was anxious, really anxious. He is anxious, really anxious. Jing Mo saw that the smashing was about enough, and then from the car roof, he jumped down. "Oh dear, how careless. Look, my hand slipped, and I hit your car. You see how much I need to pay for the compensation?" Jing Mo's expression was very dejected, as if he really was careless. But everyone present knew that this guy was intentionally doing it. Neo Youngyu roared, "Do you take me for a fool? You clearly smashed it on purpose." Jing Mo shrugged and casually threw the iron hammer in his hand to the ground. "I really was careless. If you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. You wait. I'm going to call the police to arrest you. I'll sue you for intentionally damaging someone else's property." Neo Youngyu's eyes were red with anger, and his face was flushed. Jing Mo said indifferently, "I don't care. You can still tell me how much to pay now. If the police come and the insurance company assesses the damage, then the compensation will be less." Neo Youngyu certainly understood this logic, but he really couldn't swallow this anger. "Smash my own car right in front of me, but I couldn't do a thing." Neo Youngyu wanted to just say, "I don't want money. I just want to put you behind bars." But he couldn't because he wanted the money. This Maybach is already in this state. If he didn't get the money from Jingma, going back, he'd probably be hung up and beaten by his father. No choice. He wasn't a rich young master. Neo Youngyu said angrily, Fine, I think my car now, in this state, is worth 500,000. Jingma frowned upon hearing that. Seeing this, Neo Youngyu felt a surge of joy. "How come you were so arrogant just now? Now you think my price is too high, right? Thought you were a real rich young master? Turns out you're just a poser pretending to be someone you're not. I was almost intimidated by you. I bet this Lamborghini is rented too. Now you think I'm asking too much. Then kneel in front of me and slap yourself a few times. How about a slap? I'll take off 1,000. Now Neo Youngyu was full of bravado again. He was certain this guy was no rich young master at all. Just a fake. He had misunderstood. Jing Mo didn't think the price was too high. Rather, he thought it was too low. He had assumed that by smashing it, the other party would demand a sky-high price of 1 million. But they only asked for 500,000, which was far from his target. Jing Mo didn't care at all about Neo Youngyu barking beside him. He again walked on his own to a female classmate who was watching the scene. "Miss, I'll buy this cup of Mishu Bingxing from you for 1,000 yuan. Will you sell it?" The female classmate was stunned. 1,000 yuan. But after just a moment of hesitation, she quickly nodded. Selling. Are you kidding? This cup of Mishu Bingxing only cost her 8 yuan. Selling it for 1,000 was an incredible profit. Jing Mo readily took out from his person the 1,000 yuan in cash he had just exchanged from the system, handed it over to that female classmate. Jing Mo grabbed the milk tea and ran back again. Without any hesitation, he opened the hood of the car, then unscrewed the oil drain bolt of the engine, and poured the Mishu Bingxing inside. Everyone present stared wide-eyed at this scene. What kind of move was this? Neo Youngyu was dumbfounded when he saw it. This was over the most expensive part of the car. Wasn't it the engine? Pouring Mishu Bingxing into the engine, wasn't that a disaster? Jing Mo had been running back and forth, which was pretty tiring. And after smashing the car just now, he was now covered in sweat. He walked up to Neo Youngyu and then took out the checkbook he had exchanged from his system. "Here's 1 million. I'm buying this broken car of yours. No change needed." Then he turned to the stunned Iruo. and said, "Now this car is mine. I don't need you to compensate. Go to school now." With that, Jing Mo turned around and walked off, not bothering with what happened next. He caught up to Fan Xingxue and headed toward the school gate. Everyone present was stunned. A clamor of female voices arose. "Holy crap, that was so cool. He is a real rich young master, so domineering. Smashing $1 million luxury car, just like that. That is freaking amazing. I'm totally turned on. Is he helping that girl out? Oh my god, he is so kind. I'm in love. Who is this guy? I'm going to chase him. It's not just because he drives a Lamborghini. Oh no, all the girls here have completely fallen for him. Who could say no to a handsome, tall, kind, and rich young man? Even his wealth can't overshadow all his other shining qualities." The department beauty, Zhao Huan, studied this junior. Height, looks, money, a total tall, rich, and handsome. The girl beside her clutched her chest. Huan, he is my dream man." All the female freshman gatherers swarmed toward Jing Mo. "Junior, the campus is so big and the roads are winding. How about senior sister takes you to the boys' dormitory? Junior, the weather is so hot. There's tea brewed with black stockings in my dorm. Want some? Junior, her legs are short, but look at how fair mine are. I'll brew you some white stocking tea. Come with me, Junior. Come with me. Junior. Fan Xingxue was squeezed out by these girls. Jing Mo was surrounded by the girls, like a star surrounded by adoring fans. These senior sisters didn't care about Fan Xingxue beside Jing Mo at all. So what if she's his girlfriend? Outstanding guys always have lots of girls around them. Besides, I think I'm not bad either. After all, I'm a girl too with boobs and a butt. Why wouldn't this rich junior fall for me? At worst, I'll just act like a sweet and innocent little sister. Or maybe it's a mistress fighting for attention." Jing Mo was overwhelmed. These women were too crazy. The other freshmen, especially the males, looked at these crazy girls with expressions of envy. It's good to be rich. Niu Yongyu held the check in his hand and stuffed it fiercely into his pocket. He glared viciously at Yi Ruo. "You wait for me." Then he turned his gaze back to Jing Mo. He was going crazy. This treatment should have been his. Where did this Jing Mo pop out from? It must be just to spite him. He had made a huge fool of himself today. He guessed this would end up on the campus network, becoming a new hot topic at school, and he would definitely be the one who got slapped in the face. Just to highlight how awesome and rich Jing Mo is. Damn it, he really didn't want to stay in this school anymore. Was it too late to transfer now? He couldn't salvage his face anymore. Whether it was wealth, family background, or looks and height, he was utterly outmatched in every aspect. Even his ride, one of his cars, was worth 10 of hers. No comparison. Niu Yongyu slunk off and took a taxi. The Maybach was in such bad shape, it was practically totaled. And on top of that, he'd taken Jing Mo's money, so the car wasn't even his anymore. Now all that was left was to go home and face his old man's wrath. Yi Ruo had originally wanted to thank Jing Mo, but seeing him surrounded by a crowd, she couldn't even get close to him. She remembered this debt of gratitude. This man had spent $1 million for her. Even now, it still felt unreal to her. Jing Mo was quite troubled right now. He didn't want to be this popular. He really wanted to keep a low profile. But the system always seemed to push him into the spotlight. Surrounded by a swarm of women, he couldn't even escape. "Junior, let's add each other on WeChat. If anything comes up, ask your senior." "Junior, me too. Me too. The senior girls, seeing they couldn't take Jing Mo away, all opted for a sustainable development path. They decided to cast a long line to catch a big fish. First, they needed to get his contact information. Jing Mo realized that if he didn't give it, he probably wouldn't be allowed to leave. Helplessly, he pulled up his WeChat QR code on his phone. Dee, the sound of phone scanning was incessant. In an instant, dozens of beautiful senior girls added his WeChat. Jing Mo had to tap to accept dozens of friend requests. Some took it for their best friends, sending Jing Mo's WeChat QR code photo to their roommates and besties. They naturally wouldn't forget their besties when something good came up. All these girls, after adding Jing Mo's contact info, tactfully stepped aside. They prepared to use their own methods to pursue Jing Mo. Like the 8 immortals crossing the sea, each showing their own magic. Seeing the treatment Jing Mo received, the boys present were collectively speechless. They were filled with envy, jealousy, and resentment. At 18, he drives a Lamborghini to school. For them, Even having a car, just for commuting, would be considered good enough. As students, they either ride an e-bike or take the bus. Even taking a taxi requires calculating whether the distance is far enough to justify it. At this moment, everyone clearly realized that the gap between people is not something that can be replicated. Fan Qingxue saw that the girls around Jing Mo had dispersed, and then she smiled wryly as she stepped forward. Classmate, you really are popular. Ying Montaxite. Can't help it. A handsome guy like me tend to be liked by girls. I actually wanted to keep a low profile. Fan Qingxue was truly a loss for words. Can't you see that these girls have such obvious intentions? They're all after your Lamborghini. It has nothing to do with your looks. Fan Qingxue didn't want to continue this topic, so she turned her head and said, "Thank you for bringing me to school. If you're free tonight, I'll treat you to dinner in the cafeteria. If you don't mind." This was the first time she had invited a boy to eat. If it were anyone else, she wouldn't have even considered it. Would the other party agree? Of course they would. Usually, it was others who treated her to meals. Most of the time, she would refuse. It was actually very hard to have a meal with her. Now, Fan Qingxue saw Jing Mo was really too popular. Even she felt she was no longer the best in the world. Someone of his status eating at the school cafeteria. Would he look down on a little? Jing Mo actually didn't think that much. He was inherently a low-key person. Going to the cafeteria was no big deal. All right then, we have each other's WeChat. Just call me when you're having a meal. Upon hearing this, Fan Qingxue secretly breathed a sigh of relief. In her heart, she was faintly delighted. After Jing Mo and Fan Qingxue left, the surrounding onlookers snapped back to reality. Now that's a real young master. Look at his vision. This aura, he didn't even say a single word to that fake young master from start to finish. Not a single word, utter contempt. It's really incomparable. This one is clearly from the upper class, completely detached from worldly matters. The other is at most a nouveau riche. Driving a Maybach, how embarrassing. Good thing Niu Yongyu made a quick exit. Otherwise, seeing so many people criticizing him, he would probably have had a heart attack from anger. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the daily good deed task. Reward: top tier racing driver skill permanent. System: why is it permanent this time? System: because when I tried to take it back, the person was no longer there. Jing Mo was a bit confused upon hearing this. What do you mean the person was no longer there? Was this borrow before? Detected. Host successfully enrolled. Completed the beginner achievement. System reward: full collection of Away's 18 moves. Boxing champion combat technique experience card X1. Vigorous Durex X1. Host charisma increased. Rewards have been distributed. Host: the system will now fully open up to you. Determined to turn you into the universe's top tall, rich, and handsome man. Please prepare yourself mentally. The following temporary tasks are issued. Task 1. Hero Saves Beauty. Find a suitable target to perform the Hero Saves Beauty scenario. Task reward: charm value increased to maximum level. Task 2. Keep playing music and keep dancing. Organize a welcome party for new students on campus. Lead the new students in a wild celebration. Task reward: top-tier singing skill experience card X1. Task 3. Spend 100 million yuan at school with no restraint. Task reward: 1 billion renminbi. Tasks issued: wishing the host a happy life. The system's voice in Jing Mo's ear never stopped ringing. In the time it took Fan Qingxue to turn her head, Jing Mo became even paler. His originally decent facial features became even more handsome and striking. Jing Mo felt his originally somewhat hunched back become straight. His abdomen and chest felt slightly swollen. System, what's going on? Host: this increase in charm value is completely according to big data on female aesthetic standards. Your current charm is absolutely off the charts, meeting the aesthetic standards of the vast majority of girls. Fan Qingxue turned her head, about to say something, but when she saw Jing Mo at that moment, her heart went thump, 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 pounding uncontrollably. Is this Jing Mo? How come before he looked completely different? Why is he so handsome now? She liked him so much. How could his features be so beautiful? That look, that aura, every move stirred her heart. She desperately wanted to possess him. The passing female classmates' gazes at Jing Mo were practically glued to him, as if pulling silk threads. They wished they could devour him. Hey, quick, look at that handsome guy. Holy cow, he's way too hot. Who is this? Is he some celebrity? For the first time, Jing Mo felt like a rare animal, surrounded by so many girls staring at him, and some even took out their phones to sneak photos of him. This was very painful for Jing Ma, who was always low-key. System, you've really done me in. Fan Qingshua's dormitory was closer than Jing Ma's. As they were about to part, Fan Qingxue said to Jing Ma with some reluctance, "I'll call you tonight." Jing Ma lowered his head. This was a girl's dormitory. The moment he showed his face, all the girls in the entire building came out of their rooms and leaned over the railing to look at him. Low key, low key. All right, I'll head back now. Fan Qingshue's voice was a bit different from usual, with a touch of warmth amidst its usual coolness. Okay. Contact me if anything comes up. After saying that, she watched Jingma leave. Jingma slipped away as if fleeing. So terrifying. Women are truly terrifying. Fu Mingming parked his Audi A4L at another small gate of the school. This was a gate only known to upperclassmen, so there weren't many people around. He put away his flamboyant nature. There are always people better than you. From now on, I shouldn't drive this crappy Audi around and embarrass myself. Better to keep it simple and get an electric bike to ride around. He was scared the whole way back to the boys' dormitory, afraid of catching a glimpse of that person's shadow. Seeing him would just make me feel ashamed and wake up unpleasant memories. Fu Mingming just hoped that in the next 4 years of college, he wouldn't have to see that person. He only breathed a sigh of relief when he reached the dorm. Looks like he won't run into him today. I'll have to find out which dorm he's in later and avoid that guy when I'm out and about. Wait until he forgets me before showing up in front of him again. Otherwise, if he recognizes me, he'll just tease me again. When Fu Mingming got to the dorm, he saw that he was the first one to arrive. He was about to lay out the bedding he brought. From now on, he had to stay humble. Better dye this hair back to its original color. Just as he was making his bed, he heard the dorm door being pushed open behind him. Probably a new roommate. I should say hello. Hello, roommate. Fu Mingming turned around and saw a familiar face. Isn't that the Lamborghini guy? Fu Mingming was losing it. How was this guy in his dorm? Could it be? He thought of a possibility. Damn, was this guy really in the same dorm as him? Mom, I want to transfer schools. Jing Mo took one look at the red hair and remembered who this was. Oh, your Audi sports car really was fast. Got here even before me. Fu Mingming swallowed and said with a bitter smile, Bro, can you please stop talking? Is it really okay for you to drive a Lamborghini and pretend to be a nobody? Jing Mo said, looking completely unfazed. I don't see any problem. Fu Mingming seemed to think of something. That person who sent 100,000 yuan in the freshman group was you, wasn't it? He finally figured it out. Someone in the school with the means to, in the freshman group. Very few people actually send 100,000 yuan. I just happened to add Jing Mo to the group, and there it was. Someone sent 100,000 yuan. They were driving a car worth tens of millions. He knew without a doubt it was the guy in front of him. Jing Mo said indifferently. Originally, I wanted to send 1,000,000 yuan, but the group red envelope max is only 100,000. Don't you have my WeChat? If you clicked on my avatar in the group, you have recognized me. After hearing this, Fu Mingming knelt down directly. His attention had all been on Fan Qingxue. How could he have thought about all that? Women are such a distraction. Bro, please accept me as your little brother. Seeing that this guy was really catching on quickly, Jing Mo hurriedly helped him up. Don't be like this, we'll be roommates from now on. Fu Mingming was almost in tears. This guy had dirt on him. If it got out, he really wouldn't have the face to stay at school. Bro, if you don't accept me as your little brother, I'm not getting up. From now on, let me serve you and take care of your daily needs. Niu Yongyu took a taxi and went around to the back gate of the school. In the car, he checked the authenticity of the check. It was also his first time seeing such a thing. After receiving the check, he first contacted his uncle who worked at the bank to verify the check's authenticity. Only after confirming it was real did he breathe a heavy sigh of relief. At least he could go back and report. Otherwise, once he got home, his father would trample him mercilessly with a leather belt, the Seven Wolves brand. With Jing Mo causing such a scene, his reputation was tarnished within a small circle. He would have to steer clear of Jing Mo from now on. Preferably not see him for the entire 4 years of college. The umbrella-holding secretary Niu Yongyu had hired with money. Couldn't stand it and left. Now only he was left alone, dragging his suitcase toward the dormitory. Fortunately, he was still wearing a mask, and many people didn't know about this incident. At least his dorm mates probably wouldn't find out about it anytime soon. Neo Yongyu arrived at the dorm and just opened the door. As soon as he entered the dorm, he saw a guy with red hair kneeling in front of someone. "Boss, please accept me as your little brother." Neo Yongyu heard this and silently cursed the guy for having no backbone. Wanting to be someone's little brother right away, he's completely lost face for men. When he saw the familiar face opposite him, with a thud, Neo Yongyu also knelt down. The air froze instantly. Time seemed to stand still at that moment. "Boss, please accept me as your little brother." What a coincidence. The more you don't want to see someone, the more you just happen to run into them. Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming both admit that they are not good people. They had indeed thought of some crooked schemes before, and by sheer coincidence, they ran into Jing Mo. While they were showing off, Jing Mo treated them as background props. "Boss, your name is Jing Mo, right? What just happened to the school gate really? Was my fault. We still have to spend 4 years together. Let's not bring this up again." Neo Yongyu's expression was bitter. His freshman life had just begun, and it already felt bleak. Fu Mingming now roughly understood the situation. So the other roommate also had a secret. That Jing Mo was holding over him. No wonder he was so afraid. He could relate. All right, we're all roommates. We have to live together from now on, so let's let bygones be bygones. Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming both sighed in relief. They were afraid Jing Mo would hold a grudge over their previous conflicts. Seeing that Jing Mo was also very magnanimous, they both relaxed quite a bit. Jing Mo was a rich second generation who drove a Lamborghini Aventador. Most rich kids had bad tempers, but it seemed this one was actually quite amiable. Then the dorm needs to have a big brother to lead the pack. I think you'd be perfect for the role. Fu Mingming nodded and said, "Yeah, I guess I'm the youngest among the three of us, so I'll be the third eldest." Jing Mo didn't object, so he nodded and said, "Okay, we're all roommates. Let's not be so distant in the future. Don't let their heartfelt words fool you." The main reason was that each had some dirt on the other. If they weren't polite to Jing Mo, and he one day exposed it, wouldn't that make them a laughing stock? "Big bro, where's your luggage? Let me help you unpack." Fu Mingming looked around, but couldn't find Jing Mo's luggage. Jing Mo was taken aback for a moment, then slowly said, "I didn't bring that many clothes or luggage. He just didn't have extra blankets at home and sheets, so he brought those for him. He was planning to buy new ones after arriving at school." In Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming's eyes, they couldn't help but marvel. As expected of a rich second-generation kid goes out without needing to bring anything. Buys new stuff wherever he goes. Neo Yongyu laughed heartily. "Bro, if you don't mind, I know a dealer who customizes high-end mattresses. It's just that the price isn't cheap." Jing Mo's eyes lit up when he heard this. He had originally thought these two useless guys wouldn't be of much use, but neither of them was exactly a pushover. Both of them were notorious spendthrifts. Fu Mingming goes without saying. If he weren't broke, he wouldn't even know how to waste all his money. As for Neo Yongyu, his family's Maybach had already been wrecked by him at school. As they say, among 3 people, there's always one with ideas. For instance, right now Jing Mo was worried about how to spend money. And just like that, the problem was solved. From now on, Neo Yongyu would be his Zhuge Liang. He would rely on him for all his scheming. "Then why don't you get me in touch with the dealer right away? Money isn't an issue. As long as it's premium, I'll take it all." Jing Mo was in a hurry. He had to find a way to spend his money. If he doesn't spend money, in 3 days he'll be constipated and end up dying from being unable to poop. As soon as Neo Yongyu heard that money wasn't an issue, he knew that this big brother he'd acknowledged wasn't for nothing he had latched onto a golden thigh. This store specialized in custom mattresses and bed sheets. The materials they used were all top tier. Even a single bed sheet cost over 40,000 for a cheap one. Jing Mo was delighted to have someone by his side who could help him spend money together. In a great mood, he immediately declared, "Second brother Neo, call that store. Order 3 sets of the highest end mattresses and bed sheets. Use the dimensions of our dorm beds. Preferably have them delivered before tonight." Neo Yongyu was ecstatic when he heard that. Sure enough, hanging around rich people means life won't be too shabby. He had been craving this mattress for a long time. In their social circle at this level, there was a rich second generation who bought one and posted it in the group to show off for ages. For people like them, they don't even count as rich second generation. They're just a bit better off than a moderately prosperous family. They wouldn't bat an eye at spending a few $1,000s on ordinary days. But spending tens of thousands still stings. Fu Mingming felt flattered and hurriedly thanked him. Thank you, big bro. From now on, I'll be your loyal follower. Feel free to command me. Jing Mo thought for a moment and said, I'm not some slave owner. Don't worry, at most I'll have you run some errands. I won't make you do anything bad. Sure thing, big bro, Neo Yongyu said, knowing what's what. Big bro, I know I don't have much talent, but I can still throw my weight around at school. Almost no one dares to mess with me. The school principal is my uncle. Jing Mo frowned and scolded him. Since you've acknowledged me as your big bro, I have to say a few words. When you're out in the world, you need to keep a low profile in everything. What if you offend someone you shouldn't? Neo Yongyu looked puzzled and said, Then why are you so flashy, big brother? Ying Mo replied helplessly, Because I have no choice. Neo Yongyu looked even more confused after hearing this. Bro, you're so rich, who could force you? Jing Mo patted Neo Yongyu on the shoulder with a serious expression. Actually, the life of a rich man is also tiring. You wouldn't understand. Fu Mingming suddenly cut in. I like to be tired like that too. All right, look, it's getting late. Second brother, hurry up and call that merchant. Custom order 3 mattresses. Jing Mo didn't want to dwell on this topic any further. After all, everyone has their own personality. You can't expect others to be as low-key and restrained as you are. Neo Yongyu quickly took out his phone and called the high-end mattress merchant. Hello, I want to customize 3 of your top-tier mattresses. The business manager for the Hanjiang area answered the call. The business manager from the Hanjiang area received it. Such a bizarre phone call. Ah, you're Boss Neo's son, right? Do you know how much our most expensive mattress costs? I suggest you buy a cheaper one. What? Do you think I don't have money? Now that he has the backing of the rich young master, he wouldn't allow himself to speak politely. He had to be even more arrogant than usual. The business manager smiled disdainfully and said, Your family runs that shabby bathhouse. You really think you're a rich second generation? Which model can you even afford? Neo Yongyu flared up as soon as he heard that. What did you say? I advise you to speak nicely to me now, or else I'll have someone else sign this big deal. The business manager said nonchalantly, Sorry, but I always talk like this. You? How much business can you even discuss with me? Clearly, this was looking down on Neo Yongyu. Neo Yongyu said angrily, You just wait. Neo Yongyu hung up and directly called the phone number of the brand's general manager in City Y. Hello, who is this? A middle-aged male voice came from the other end. Hello, I want to file a complaint. I wanted to buy a mattress from your store, but the salesperson here had an extremely terrible attitude. Upon hearing it was just such a trifle, the manager said, somewhat displeased. This kind of thing is not my responsibility. Contact the regional general manager. Neo Yongyu wanted to say something more, but Jing Mo beside him was getting impatient. Buying something so dawdling, if you keep dawdling, it'll get dark. Hey, are you sure you won't take care of this? I'm planning to buy your most expensive set. That is a mattress at the million-level price. If you don't sell to me, I'll go to someone else. Anyway, I believe this industry doesn't only have your stores selling these. Upon hearing this, the manager's tone softened a lot. You say you want to customize our Jin siding. Top-tier royal mattress? Jing Mo heard this and asked doubtfully, Is this thing expensive or not? Upon hearing this, the person in charge thought for a long time before replying. This is our top-tier mattress. Most of the materials used in this handcrafted mattress are sourced from the mane of the Fergana horse, and the threads used are all gold wires made of pure gold. Naturally, the price is quite expensive. Jing Mo nodded to himself upon hearing this. I'll give you 3 million. Send 3 mattresses to Yang University for me right away. The person in charge instantly broke out in a cold sweat from shock. Buying their mattresses was like buying groceries, casually asking for 3. Don't you think this is a bit too rushed? Our production takes time. For a million. Stop stalling. The extra million is your labor fee, and you need to take that previous complaint seriously. The person in charge was overjoyed upon hearing this. Sir, I guarantee with my life today that I'll deliver your mattresses to your school before dusk. And as for that employee from before, we will definitely fire him. The person in charge didn't even listen to why the complaint was made and directly fired that salesperson. Come on, you can always hire another salesperson. But this gentleman needs to be well taken care of. Can you do it quickly? Print on my bedsheet. A cinema roll pattern, I just love that thing. The person in charge was a bit dumbfounded upon hearing that, because he had dealt with many wealthy people before, and tastes are naturally all sorts of weird. There were those with tea tree patterns, lily patterns, or plum tree patterns. The characteristics of these people were nothing more than highlighting elegance and refinement, showing off their taste. But what the hell is cinema roll? Niu Yongyu and Fu Mingming were listening nearby, and were also a bit speechless, thinking to themselves, this guy's taste is really unique. As for the patterns you two want on your mattress, just tell him. After saying that, Jing Mo handed the phone back to Niu Yongyu. Niu Yongyu looked at the phone in his hand, the person in charge on the other end. The person in charge's respectful attitude towards him couldn't help but sigh in admiration. No wonder he's the big boss. His mere gesture was enough to impress everyone. A young rich heir truly is a young rich heir. I could never match his style, even if I tried my best. The person in charge, upon seeing the 4 million had been transferred, jumped up from his desk in excitement. Hello, hello. Is this the factory? Tell the workers to hurry up and start custom production for me. 3 top-tier royal mattress models made of gold thread fabric, designed for school dormitory beds. Stop all other orders immediately. Go full throttle for me. I must see these 3 mattresses before dark. The factory workers finally understood what real efficiency meant. The factory went all out on the 3 mattresses and finished them in just 2 hours. Sure enough, they were completed before evening. The person in charge was very satisfied with the factory speed and announced that workers could leave an hour early as a reward. Next step was to deliver the mattresses to the big client. Sending an ordinary car for delivery definitely won't do, since it's a student, that age of youthful vigor. What characterizes young people? Naturally, being ostentatious. This rich guy probably bought it just to show off, so I have to make it more upscale. Make it grand. Better let the whole school know someone spent 4 million on their mattress. At around 5 p.m., the sun was still blazing. The campus was bustling with people, incredibly lively. It was dinner time. Students were flooding the cafeteria. Some freshmen, to celebrate the start of school, planned to eat out off campus. Some students, after eating, didn't hurry back to the dorm, but strolled around campus, wandering aimlessly, hoping to run into a romance. Just then, a luxurious Bentley car slowly drove into campus, as if a brilliant star descended to the mortal world. Following closely were 2 rows of neatly arranged Mercedes-Benz E300 vehicles, standing like loyal guards, guarding the distinguished vehicle ahead. These 2 rows of cars totaled more than a dozen, forming a spectacular sight. At the end of the procession, a mysterious black truck followed closely. When the passing students saw the banner hanging on the truck, they couldn't help but stare in shock. Freshmen of Yang University, young Master Jing, spent 4 million yuan to customize 3 mattresses. Such an extravagant feat left everyone utterly astonished. The scene before them made all the students present feel deeply shocked. Such a massive spectacle was actually just 4 delivering mattresses for a young master. The Bentley, as the lead car, led the long line of imposing Mercedes-Benz convoy, resembling a majestic honor guard. This massive convoy eventually came to a steady stop in front of the male dormitory building. From each Mercedes-Benz, 10 or more men stepped out, dressed in crisp black suits, wearing delicate black ties, and sporting pristine white gloves. Their movements were perfectly synchronized as they swiftly and gracefully exited the cars and lined up, like well-trained soldiers, standing upright at the base of the dormitory building. This group guarded the black truck, resembling the staff of an armored cash transport vehicle. A middle-aged man stepped out of the Bentley, his face beaming with a long-lost smile. He was the district's overall person in charge, and to show respect, he had even borrowed the boss's Bentley. Once this group had formed their formation, the person in charge gave a signal, and 10 men shouted in unison, "Live up to expectations. Mission must be accomplished." This loud, clear shout shook the entire. All the guys from a dormitory building came out to watch. When they saw the banner on the truck, countless people started filming, hooting, and marveling. Jing Mo was a bit dumbfounded as well. Wasn't this a bit too much? He had wanted to keep a low profile. Just as young Master Jing leaned over the railing to look down, a group of people bowed to him, Hello, young Master Jing. Whoa, this is insanely impressive. How much is the young master's mattress? For a million. For a million? Did I see that right? For houses, they're using them as a mattress to lie on. Forget about studying. Why even bother? The guy just started school, and he's already this rich. What's the point of taking the graduate exam or getting a PhD? Probably can't even afford the rich kid's mattress in a lifetime. Jing Mo listened to the chattering voices. He kind of didn't want to sign for it anymore. Big brother, our mattress has arrived. I'll have them bring it up and set it up for you. Neo Yongyu knew how to play the game. He couldn't let his big brother make a trip for nothing. Mainly, whoever showed their face in this scene would get to show off big time in front of everyone. Opportunities like this don't come often. He had to fight for it. Fu Mingming was unhappy to hear that. Third brother, how could I trouble you with such an errand? You and big brother, wait up here, I'll go down and take care of it. Neo Yongyu could see right through his tricks. Ah, third brother, you're being too polite. You're younger, so I should look out for you. It's best I go. Fu Mingming was absolutely heartbroken. Second brother, since you put it that way, I really can't bear to let you run this errand. I have to go. Ying Mo was speechless. You two go together, after all, I bought 3. The other 2 are for you. Have them deliver our mattresses to the dorm. Fu Mingming and Neo Yongyu heard this and said no more. The 2 of them sprinted downstairs immediately. The scene downstairs was quite an eye-catching spectacle. Even the girls' dormitory was looking down through the windows just to see what kind of big shot this Beijing young master was. So impressive. Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming walked out of the dormitory entrance, both with their heads held high. Their aura had to be maxed out, but both felt that having the other walking beside them somewhat hindered their own showing off, because they also wanted to be mistaken for a rich young master. People were saying the Beijing young master was buying some mattresses. Now, 2 of them came down who was the Beijing young master, but since neither of them actually was the Beijing young master, coming down a sign for the mattresses was already plenty of face. Fu Mingming thought to himself that he would change into it later and take a photo to post in the freshman group to show off. Under the curious and expectant gazes of the crowd, Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming unhurriedly walked slowly towards the person in charge. They felt that in all these years past, no act of showing off could compare to the thrill of this walk. They truly wished the path could be a little longer. When the 2 finally stood before the person in charge, Neo Yongyu spoke first. My big brother instructed. He hopes you can help move these mattresses upstairs and lay out the beds for us. Upon hearing this, the person in charge's expression instantly turned very serious. He straightened up and answered solemnly. Of course, no problem. This is originally within our scope of services we should provide. Then he unhesitatingly gave the order. Everyone, start unloading. As this loud command rang out, the group of men dressed in black suits, heroic and spirited, immediately swung into action. They were all recently retired from the military. They were military men by origin, highly disciplined. Their strict discipline was on full display at this moment. Their movements were as synchronized as one person. They carried out the task swiftly and efficiently. Several men quickly walked toward the back of the huge truck and deftly opened the rear door. 3 burly men agilely climbed onto the truck, steadily lifted the 3 heavy boxes inside, and then carefully stepped down from the vehicle. The entire process was completed in one smooth motion, without any hesitation or delay. It was impossible not to deeply admire their professionalism. The 3 men holding the boxes stood at the front, with several men in black suits lined up neatly behind them, forming a straight row. This group followed Neo Yongyu and Fu Mingming up the dormitory building and then arrived at Jing Mo's room. These men in black suits cleaned the 3 beds of Jing Mo, Neo Yongyu, and Fu Mingming thoroughly. Then from 3 boxes, they carefully took out the custom-made million-level mattress and laid it out neatly. Young Master Jing, our task here is complete. Please keep my phone number. If anything comes up, feel free to contact me anytime. We'll take our leave now. The person in charge handed his business card to Jing Mo. Jing Mo, with a dark face, waved his hand. It's fine. If I need anything, I'll call. The person in charge turned to the line of black-suited men. All units retreat. The black-suited men shouted in unison to Jing Mo. Young Master Jing, you've worked hard. Then the group, in a flurry, came and then left in a grand manner. Truly impressive. Neo Yongyu was completely convinced. Look at that level of skill. This level of showing off has already surpassed him by who knows how many years. Fu Mingming's eyes sparkled at the sight. What was I before? Nothing but trash. Just look at your big brother. He's really showing off too much. Jing Mo had a face full of black lines. He thought buying a mattress wouldn't cause such a stir. Never expected that now at school. He couldn't keep a low profile, even if he wanted to. Wasn't he just trying to live a simple, ordinary college life? Why did he always end up showing off in ways he never imagined? Just then, Jing Mo felt a bit hungry. He hadn't eaten lunch on the high-speed train, and after a whole afternoon of fuss, he hadn't even had a sip of water. When he pulled out his phone, that outdated iPhone 8S already, behind the times for this era, finally received messages due to lag. Most were from senior female students inviting him to dinner, and some sent selfies. Those fair legs. Jing Mo would have to lie in bed tonight and study hard. At that moment, Fan Qingxue sent a message. Jingma, was that 4 million yuan mattress you bought? Jingma, yeah. Didn't you notice I didn't bring a suitcase when I arrived? If I didn't buy a mattress, I'd have no bed to sleep on at night. Fan Qingxue, a mattress for 4 million? You really are a rich second generation. Jingma, since I have money, shouldn't I make myself comfortable to sleep? Fan Qingxue, fine. Are you hungry? Let us go to the cafeteria to get some food. Jingma, I'm a bit hungry, actually. Fan Qingxue, then I'll wait for you at gate 1 the cafeteria. Jingma, okay. Neo Yongyu lay on the bed to try it out. This million yuan mattress really feels different. So soft. Bro, are you hungry? I'll take you out for a feast. I have memberships at all the major restaurants in City Y. Neo Yongyu suggested. This guy had no real skills, but when it came to how to enjoy life, how to eat, drink, and have fun, he knew it all. Jingma quickly scolded him upon hearing this. It's just a meal. No need to go to some fancy place. We could just grab something at the cafeteria. We should follow the crowd. Don't act special just because we have money. Keep the capitalist tendencies in check. Neo Yongyu quickly chimed in with flattery. Big brother has the right idea. I was thinking too small. I'll follow big brother's arrangements. Fu Mingming noticed that the second brother was always trying to be noticed. He himself had no real role. What if one day he got abandoned? What if they stopped hanging out with him? Now following Jing Mo as a lackey wasn't because he was afraid Jing Mo would reveal his secrets, but because he genuinely benefited. If it weren't for following Jing Mo, he might never in his life get to sleep on a mattress worth millions. Big brother, your little brother doesn't have much money, but if you want to go to the cafeteria, order whatever you want. Fu Mingming leaned in and said ingratiatingly. Jing Mo waved his hand upon hearing this. Oh, I'm the big brother here. Why would I need you to pay for such small change? Let's go. We're marching to the cafeteria. Neo and Fu, okay, let's go. Jing Mo, wait, am I feeling like someone's missing? Fu Mingming patted his head. Yeah, it's already time for a meal. Why hasn't the other roommate come yet? Jing Mo pondered for a moment. All three of us have changed our mattresses. If we don't get him one, would they say we're excluding him? Fu Mingming said discontentedly upon hearing this. We too are your lackeys. You have a reason to buy for us. But he's no relation of ours. Forget about him. Let's go eat. Jing Mo thought that made sense. Then he lifted his foot and walked out of the dorm. Jing Mo, Neo Yongyu, and Fu Mingming walked together. On the campus path, the two of them walked in a way that just begged to be punched. But they weren't afraid at all. Ever heard of people getting bullied by the rich second generation? I've never heard of a rich second generation getting bullied. I may not be a rich young master myself, but my big brother is one. Jing Mo silently followed behind these two. To be honest, there really are a lot of beautiful girls on campus. Every random girl passing by had an amazing figure. Black stockings, pencil skirts, and a pair of little white leather shoes, exuding the charm of a married woman. Those two in front had eyes like laser radar scanners, never lingering on any one spot for even a second. Fair skin, slender waists, and youthful, radiant faces. College life is indeed something to look forward to. The three arrived at gate 1 of the cafeteria. 3 graceful figures stood at the entrance. One of them, tall and striking, was a head taller than the girls around her. Fan Qingxue had specially changed into a different outfit. She wore a white short-sleeve blouse on top, with a red bow at the chest, a short black skirt on her lower body, a pair of long, straight legs like from a comic strip, Every passing guy couldn't help but sneak a second look. Jing Mo, I'm here. Fan Qingxue spotted Jing Mo from afar. Afraid he might miss her, she used her height advantage to wave her hand in his direction. The guys around were all checking Fan Qingxue out, but seeing her greeting someone else, they got curious about who could make such a gorgeous woman wait for them. When they saw Jing Mo, the men were no longer curious because it was infuriating. Jing Mo was just too handsome, like a bar model. Could being good looking really let you do whatever you want? Those guys' worldviews were about to crumble. Damn, a goddess-level woman was actually waiting for this man. If they could get to know this girl, forget making her wait for them. They'd be waiting here at least an hour early. Jing Mo brought along his two foolish companions and leisurely walked over to Fan Qingxue's side. As soon as Fu Mingming saw Fan Qingxue, it awakened those unpleasant memories of his again. Fan Qingxue also recognized Fu Mingming. She looked at Jing Mo with a questioning gaze. What a coincidence, he's my roommate. Ying Mo replied helplessly. Fan Qingxue gave a slight nod. Before Fan Qingxue could say anything, the girl beside Fan Qingxue spoke up. Kid, you're taking our Schwer out to eat and brought your roommate along. Jing Mo's gaze shifted to the speaker, another girl. Her face was a bit chubby, and she was short. She had a slender figure, wearing white stockings and a schoolgirl outfit. Her hair was tied in twin tails, a typical Lolita style. Neo Yonyu fell in love at first sight. Grinning from ear to ear, he said, Isn't this just tagging along with our big brother to freeload a meal? He had been silently cursing Jing Mo in his heart earlier, saying so much about not making exceptions, getting rid of capitalist excesses and all that. Unwilling to go out for dinner with him. Turns out there was a beautiful girl having dinner with him at night. But now it seemed eating at the school cafeteria was also nice. The little loli was a bit tsundere, her words a little prickly. Your big boss? You say this guy's your big boss. Neo Yongyu smiled kindly and said, Yeah, our newly acknowledged big boss. Such things are common in boys' dormitories. Fan Qingxue sighed helplessly and said, These are my two roommates. One is Tian Tian and the other is Qiuji. Jing Mo said nonchalantly, Since everyone is here, let us go. He was really hungry, so he didn't care about that for now. First, find a place to eat. The cafeteria has 2 floors. The first floor is the serving style, all pre-cooked dishes. Holding a tray and asking the cafeteria Annie to add more food to their plate. The second floor was just like a snack street, with all kinds of food, such as hot and sour rice noodles, barbecue, and vermicelli. Today there were 6 of them, so they certainly couldn't eat downstairs. At least they had to have something good. The 6 of them found a seat by the window, sat down, and ordered 8 stir-fried dishes, along with some barbecue and beer. The atmosphere at the table was a bit awkward, because, aside from Jing Mo and Fan Qingxue, the rest were meeting each other for the first time. As they talked, Tian Tian suddenly picked up her phone and swore, What a scumbag, bullying a little girl. Saying this, she showed her phone to Fan Qingxue beside her. On the Yangda forum, some student bystanders had taken a picture of the scene that had happened earlier at the school gate and posted it on the forum. A Maybach rich second generation throwing his weight around. He demanded that the girl write an IOU or else he would call the police. Shocked, a freshman arrives in a Lamborghini Aventador. A textbook Prince Charming saves the damsel in distress. The new campus belle, Fan Qingxue, an icy beauty who will win her heart. A mega-rich second gen spends $400,000 on a new mattress. This year's freshmen have real game. Someone drops a 100,000 yuan red envelope in the freshman group. Nowadays, rich second gens are everywhere. Many senior students sigh that this year's freshmen are the most impressive in history. Arriving in a Lamborghini is unprecedented and likely never to be seen again. Moreover, a rich second gen even spent $400,000 on a mattress, truly extravagant. Jing Mo hasn't checked the school forum yet, mainly because his phone is too slow to load it. He'll definitely buy the latest model when he gets back. A Huawei phone. If he saw the forum, he'd probably be speechless, because all the hot topics on campus are about him, because these events were uploaded online. Jing Mo and Neo Yongyu have become quite famous online, but their treatment online is completely different. Jing Mo is called the mysterious young master, heartthrob. Neo Yongyu, on the other hand, faces widespread criticism. Damn, look, a freshman is driving a Lamborghini worth over 10 million. How awesome is that Lamborghini? Tian Tian looked at her phone in shock. She couldn't wait to share it with her best friend beside her. Xiaoji was also a bit shocked. Fan Qingxue, on the other hand, looked embarrassed because the person they were praising was sitting right across from them. Tian Tian was very envious because her family was fairly well off, but asking them to buy her a Lamborghini was nothing but a pipe dream. Sigh, I wish I had a Lamborghini too. Tian Tian stretched and looked at Jing Mo across the table. Hey kid, did you watch the show at the school gate today? You came at noon too, right? Did you see what the rich young master driving the Lamborghini looked like? What did he look like? Jing Ma rubbed his chin. I did see him, but his looks were just so. Tian Tian said disappointedly. Ah, then no chance. I'm a face con, I can't fancy him. Fu Mingming and Niu Yongyu were stifling their laughter on the side. Niu Yongyu spoke up at an opportune time. He might not even be interested in you. I was there at the scene too. There was already a very beautiful girl in his car. She got out of the car with him. Cough, Jima and Fan Qingxue both choked on their food at the same time. Tian Tian said with a proud look. Really? Is she prettier than me? Niu Yongyu really had a hard time answering that question. After all, he was still hoping to pursue Tian Tian. But Fu Mingming jumped in and answered. Yeah, she's prettier than you. I was there too. Tian Tian looked at Fu Mingming suspiciously. What a coincidence that you three were all there at the time. Even if she's prettier than me, she's certainly not as beautiful as our Schwer. As she said this, Tian Tian casually patted Fan Qingxue's back and said proudly. Fu Mingming and Niu Yongyu smiled and agreed. Yes, she's definitely not as good looking as Qingxue. Fan Qingxue felt a mix of laughter and tears. She should have told Tian Tian about this beforehand. If she had known that the person driving the Lamborghini was Jingma, and she herself said in front of him that she looked down on him, wouldn't that be super awkward? A complete social death. But with this commotion, the conversation at the dinner table really got going. Tian Tian is the typical talkative type. Although Niu Yongyu likes to show off, his family background gives his words a certain weight. The two of them also drank 2 bottles of beer, almost becoming sworn siblings. There was a small interlude in between. There was a small incident in between. After drinking, Tian Tian cursed the Maybach man who bullied the girl. Niu Yongyu heard this, but could only suffer in silence. The worst part was, she not only cursed him, but also asked for his opinion. What could he do? He had thrown away all shame to hit on girls. Now, he had to join in cursing himself. He decided that from now on, in front of Tian Tian, he would never admit to having driven a Maybach. Just as everyone was chatting happily, a man's voice came from his side. Qingxue also got into Yang University. They saw a man at the table behind them stand up and walk over to their table. Fan Qingxue and Tian Tian smiled at the approaching guy and greeted him. Zhou Xian, weren't you previously applying to Jinling University? How come you're at Y University? Zhou Xian had fair, clean skin, his hair styled in a Korean 3:7 part, and an earring dangling from his ear. Zhou Xian used to be in the same high school as Tian Tian and Fan Qingxue. At school, he was known as a somewhat famous, rich second generation. Back in high school, he once confessed his feelings to Fan Qingxue, but she didn't agree. However, their relationship was still fairly good. Zhou Xian knew how to maintain boundaries and restraint. He wouldn't pester her relentlessly like a typical simp. He would use tactics. It's just that I didn't get into the school I wanted. I had no choice but to come here. I didn't expect you to come here too. What a coincidence. A high school classmate, Fan Qingxue explained to Jing Mo, clarifying the identity of the person. This explanation made Zhou Xian sense something was off. As a man seasoned by many battles, he could, from the slightest movements, detect a woman's thoughts. Fan Qingxue took the initiative to explain her identity, because she was afraid that the man in front of her would misunderstand. If it were the old Fan Qingxue, she wouldn't have taken the initiative to explain. It seems that this man holds a special place in Fan Qingxue's heart. Zhou Xian cast a vicious glare at Jing Mo. Out of nowhere, some clueless newbie shows up, looking like a toad lusting after a swan, and expects to win Fan Qingxue over with just his face. Hasn't he checked what happened to the man who dared to have designs on her before?